chats on the ones and twos. Got with me today Wales, Cardiff Blues, Bedford.
Yep.
Merthyr, Wales Sevens.
Yes. Yep.
Barbarian.
Once.
First Barbarian on the Catflap chats. The one and only Mr. Chris Czekaj. So thank you very much for coming in, pal. Appreciate it.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
We start every episode with a beer, mate. So cheers. Oh, drop that. So tell the boys and girls of Catflap chats what's going on in your life at the moment, then, pal.
So at the moment I'm still playing.
Mhm.
I'm also WRU hub officer now.
Yeah.
Which this is my first year doing that.
Yeah.
I really enjoy a bit of a transition year, I suppose, for me from full-time rugby into working life.
How have you found that?
It's tough. It's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Compared to what I'm used to. But no, I really enjoyed it, and no, it's going to come at some point, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's nice to have a bit of both for at least a year or two.
Yeah.
Before it rugby totally finishes, you know.
So you played up in Merthyr at the moment.
Yeah, Merthyr at the moment. Going reasonably well. I've played a few games, a couple of minor injuries this year.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying it. So.
Got a couple more years left in you, or you?
It's yet to be decided, but look, I'm still going now.
Yeah.
Maybe one more year after this one.
Yeah, nice.
We'll see what happens, and I think that would be after that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And how are you finding that? Is it also that Tuesday, Thursday training?
That's it.
Gym in your own time and play obviously Saturdays.
Yeah.
Full time then with the hub officer stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty much full time. Yeah.
Is that schools based or
it's schools based?
Yeah.
And community as well.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to manage my time between the two and doing a few evening stuff with local clubs and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's not quite nice actually. I get to manage my days.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But yeah, there are long days, Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Yeah, I can imagine.
School from all day and then up to Merthyr for
you
training.
Llandaff, Bishop of Llandaff?
Bishop of Llandaff, yeah.
So were you a Llandaff lad originally? Was that your club?
I am, yeah, correct.
So I did a year at Llandaff. And
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, I say a year. Your brother was playing actually, I think.
Yeah, you didn't play. Mike, yeah.
Yeah, your brother was playing.
Brother.
I played about 4 games, pal.
Yeah.
Fucking rubbish. But good club, Llandaff. I like some good people down there. I like them.
Yeah, it is a good club and they're thriving, you know. We were there this morning.
Well, mini juniors.
Mini juniors. I was down there with my son.
Yeah.
Who's in the under 8s. He loves it. They've got lots of players in each age group.
Yeah.
It's brilliant to see, especially on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. I coached. So when I went there, I was doing my level 2. I broke my ankle, so I couldn't do my level 3. But I was coaching like the under 14s or 15s who went to 16s, who then went to youth.
Right. Yeah.
So I coached for more years than I played essentially.
Yeah.
And they were great, good as gold. Ron was the old chairman at the time.
Ron Jenkins.
Yeah, Ron Jenkins, great bloke.
Still doing it now.
Is he?
He was there when I was playing there.
Oh, class.
So he's done a lot for the club, to be fair.
Your shirt was on the wall, wasn't it?
I think it still is. Hopefully it still is.
It was when I was there. I haven't been in there for a while, but yeah. So I coached so the boys who are playing for the senior team now, like your David Miller and the Hugo and people like that. I coached them when they were like Calvin. They were all like 13 when I coached them. Enough about me anyway. I'm bored. Take me back to the beginning, then, pal. So Polish grandfather was it? But you were born and bred Cardiff.
Yeah, my grandfather came over just after the war.
Yeah.
Settled in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Raised a family. So yeah, so it's on my father's side that he comes from.
Yeah.
So hence the surname.
Yeah, check. Yeah.
Not many people can pronounce from first seeing it.
It's taken me about 8 goes to spell it properly though.
So yeah, I've heard of numerous different ways of it being said.
I can imagine. Have you been back to Poland much to see that?
I've not been to Poland at all, ever.
No, mate.
So I need to get over there.
I do fancy it, like, apparently it's good for stag do's, but
I bet it's nice at Christmas as well.
Is it?
Markets and stuff.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Decent stuff over there. My older brother's been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do need to get over there and see what it's like. It's part of my heritage, isn't it?
So was Llandaff then your club all the way through?
Yeah, so I started there under 7s.
Yeah.
My mother and father took me down as I had too much energy. So trying to find a way to channel it, I suppose. So I went all the way through the age groups up until sort of under 15s, I think it was, when sort of Cardiff schools comes into play. And, and a county as it was back then you could play for, so all these sort of age group stuff comes in.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up playing for the seniors there.
Oh, okay.
Or youth even.
Did you play other sports as well growing up, or was it just kind of rugby focused?
Mostly rugby. I did a bit of athletics when I was a teenager.
Sprinter?
Yeah, 400, 300.
Oh, bloody hell.
300's when it's up to a certain age, yeah. Yeah, I didn't like the training for those.
I can imagine, mate. Who wants to run for a minute as fast as they can?
Exactly, yeah. You almost spew in every session.
Well, that's hanging.
But I saw it as, it's complimenting my rugby.
Yeah, of course.
So, and it did.
Yeah.
And it did pretty well at that as well, so to be fair. But but then it was rugby after that.
Yeah.
Football wasn't even on the radar at all, no.
Fair enough.
It still isn't.
2 left feet, is it?
Well, I don't know, it might be decent, but yeah.
Stick to 5-a-side at best.
I won't even bother now.
So Cardiff, because do you play Wales through the age groups as well from an early age?
Yeah. I did all the age groups all the way through. Under 16s up to under 21s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went through the whole system.
And when did you start? Because it's probably a little bit different on the structure, because obviously you've got your academies at Whitchurch or Cardiff and Vale College and all that sort of stuff. When were you first kind of like getting picked up by I know you got Cardiff schools at 15s, but then after that, what's the transition?
After that, there was an academy, Cardiff Blues Academy. I can't remember how it worked, but I ended up playing in that academy and then playing some games for Cardiff RFC.
Yeah. Was that in 2003, 2004?
2004, 2005.
Yeah.
I started playing for them, and then towards the end of that 2005 season, I think it was.
Yeah.
I got picked up by the Blues, and after one of the Cardiff RFC matches, Geraint John, who was the backs coach of the Blues at the time, came up to me, spoke to my parents as well, and said, I can't remember what they said to them, but from then I ended up playing 2 games for the Cardiff Blues at the end of that season, and suddenly I was on a Wales tour. So it was meteoric, as they say. You
hadn't played senior rugby before that Cardiff game, the first Cardiff RFC games?
I played a few, I think, before then.
Okay.
I can't remember how many. I may have played that like a majority of that season.
Yeah.
So
your first season in men's rugby?
Pretty much, yeah. It was,
fair play.
It was crazy. So I played 2 games for Cardiff Blues, and then suddenly I was on a tour.
Do you remember your debut, the Blues debut?
I do, yeah. I think it was Ulster. I played Ulster at home.
Okay, nice.
I remember getting the ball for the first time in a bit of space.
Yeah.
I was fast back then, so I managed to make a bit of ground, caught a good high ball and made a decent pass, I remember.
Yeah.
Made little bits.
What was that like for you? Cardiff lad, born and bred, played 2 miles, 3 miles up the road, obviously all year sort of growing up.
Yeah.
What was that like running out on the Arms Park for the first time as 18 then?
I would have, 19. Would have been 19.
What does that feel like running out on the Arms Park?
It's the dream, I suppose, and I see players doing it now, and I love watching the young players do it and realising it.
Yeah.
But it is great. It's always like from a young age I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to play rugby for a living. So it was great. And the speed that it happened was just, I don't know. I just sort of all a blur, really. I suppose.
You don't see it a lot nowadays, do you? Where you kind of thrust in straight away.
No.
A couple of games you're on that.
Yeah. I suppose they look after them and the younger players nowadays and try not to bleed them too early because. It can be too much sometimes. But for me, I was just loving life back then. Yeah. It was amazing. So.
And you coming into a Blues team that was, if I remember right, I could be fucking wrong here. You had your Tom James was coming or just about there.
Tom James was a year or 2 behind me.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else did you have there then?
So who was there then? So we had Craig Morgan. If you remember him.
Yeah, yeah. Was Ben Blair there?
I think he came maybe a year after my first year. Court Schubert, do you remember him? The number 8, he was still there. Ben Evans, prop.
Yeah.
All those types of players. Martin Williams, obviously.
Yeah.
So those at the end of that season, my first 2 games, those sorts of players were there. Andy Moore was still there as well.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, so we're talking a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think the year after that, we signed the likes of Xavier Rush, signed Fau Felice.
He's only just finished.
Players I know, yeah. Players like that. And then halfway through the season, Joe Lumu signed, didn't he?
So, oh yeah, fuck, it was that year, was it?
Yeah.
You and Lomu on the wings together.
Oh, it was crazy.
What was that like?
It was amazing to hear that he was signing. I
Yeah.
thought, oh my god, I get to play with Joe Lumu, like someone you obviously watched growing up.
Played John Lomu rugby.
Exactly,
like,
yeah. Played religiously.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, it was like, he's in my position. He's obviously going to take over.
Yeah.
He did to a certain extent, but then we did end up on either wing
Yeah.
for a majority of it, which was great.
What was he like as a bloke?
Real top bloke, yeah. One of the nicest guys you can meet. I know he was trying to sort of reignite his career again after what he'd been through before that.
Yeah.
Didn't quite work out for him. He picked up some injuries and stuff, but no, it was surreal.
I can imagine. Obviously, he's a legend of the game.
Yeah.
What was he like off the field? Good bloke?
Yeah, really good bloke.
Got
involved, real chatty, yeah, was involved in everything.
Yeah.
We did a sort of charity walk down the bay once. I can't remember what it was for though. Me, Joe Loom and my wife came along.
Yeah.
Ben Evans came along as well. We did a walk around the barrage.
Yeah.
And we were just chatting to them. My wife was chatting to him. You would talk to anyone, you know.
Class. I
yeah,
would love
one of
to
those.
have met him.
Yeah. Full of stories as well.
Was it? I can imagine.
Stories,
that was back when he was obviously just gone from amateur to professional. He was obviously at the height of his prime then as well.
So yeah, it was good times there.
Class. And so you mentioned just now, so you've had a couple of games for the Blues, and then was it Canada?
Canada,
in America, yeah.
And I played against Canada. I didn't play the other game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was amazing.
You scored a debut?
I did, yeah.
In Toronto, was it?
That's it.
Yeah.
In Toronto, I think it was 35 degree heat out there.
Yeah.
Boiling hot, but yeah.
Many
ask for a better debut, really.
Many other sort of like first caps and youngsters
there were a
out
few
there.
year.
Was that the Lions tour that year?
Yeah.
2005, wasn't it? Would it be New Zealand Lions tour?
Yeah.
Got you.
So there were, I think there were seven or eight new caps that year.
Yeah.
T. Reece Thomas.
Yeah.
He was his first cap. Tal Selly.
Yeah, I seen him in Dubai a couple of months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So there were a few others. Matthew Jones as well. Outside half played.
Rat.
Yeah, Rat. Yeah. He was there as well.
Top lad.
Yeah, all good blokes. I can't remember who else it was now, but yeah, there was a lot of us being at Lions tour. They kind of like sort of bleed new players, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a few of us.
And how did you find that? How did you find that step up from like what would have been a sort of academy rugby, and even with Wales 21s, you had the Grand Slam.
Yeah,
was that
we
right?
did. Yeah.
How did you find that step up from essentially that under 20s, under 21 level into full blown men's?
Yeah.
Professional rugby and test rugby. You're quite a big bloke. So were you fine physically? Did you find it tough? Or
I think I was alright physically. I wasn't so big back then. I was still sort of being brought like a teenager, so sort of shape. But the main thing I found was just the intensity of it, and you know, every little error is magnified type thing. So I remember just blowing for the whole game. Yeah, but it was so hot as well. You could barely breathe.
Yeah.
But mainly the intensity and the pace of it was the biggest.
Who were some of the sort of more experienced lads on that Welsh tour?
Oh, now you're asking. Mark Taylor was captain.
Yeah, the centre. Yeah.
He was captain. Rhys Williams.
Yeah.
Fullback. He was one of the experienced ones.
Yeah. And you must have known him from the Blues.
Yeah, he was. I obviously played with him those two games I played. Yeah, he would have played.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else there was.
Did you have initiations back then for the?
I had to sing a song, I think.
What did you sing? Do you remember?
Green Day, Time of Your Life.
Classic.
Yeah. I remember forgetting the word. We used to do it on the bus after the game.
Yeah.
I remember forgetting the words halfway through, and then like looking around and thinking, am I saying the right words? And I asked someone, Kevin Morgan, I think.
The fullback, yeah.
He was there. And so I asked him, he was like, yeah, I think so. I just started again. So I messed it up a bit. It always made me nervous, stuff like that.
Everyone who's come on, I've said, what was the song? And I think they've all been more nervous for singing the song, because now they do it at the functions.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I see them worse. In front of everyone else as well.
I think Anscombe and Fox, with a couple of the boys, were saying that somehow it just got changed one day from Maybe even Lou Reed, I can't remember. Someone changed it.
There's a video of him doing that.
Oh, right, yeah, he just did it in the function. All the teams are there, all like the presidents and all that, and he just gets up on stage.
Oh, he loves that stuff.
Starts belting a song out. Hopefully get him on here at some point.
Yeah.
Him and
he'd be brilliant.
Him and Brad Davis together, like yeah. But what was? Did you cry as you singing the anthem? Were you emotional?
Yeah, I did a few times. I sort of feel it well up anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Especially the one game I had at the stadium.
Yeah.
Was just incredible. Yeah, and it just fills you up.
Who was that against in the?
The one I played at the stadium was against Ireland.
Okay, Six Nations.
Yeah, I only played 2 games in one game in the stadium. Sorry, 2 Six Nations games.
Okay.
So that's just the one, but
unbelievable.
One's enough. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
What's so you, on that tour? What was tour in America like? Because it wasn't. I don't know if it was as. I wouldn't have a fucking clue, to be honest. Whether it's as professional then, 2005, as it would be now.
It was pretty like, professional, yeah.
Out with the boys and.
After the tour finished, yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, I don't remember going out before that, but he was always professionally run as if they would run it sort of Six Nations type then, I suppose, as professionally as they could, travel wise and everything. Kit wise, everything was sorted out, food and stash. I always loved a bit of stash. Yeah.
3 kit bags or whatever.
Yeah, so yeah, it was definitely professional. But you'd always have a blowout at the end of it.
Yeah, you need it.
You do need it. It was only 2 weeks, but 2 weeks away is a long time. I know line stores and stuff go on and on.
Yeah.
But
I suppose
for me as a youngster,
I was going to say, as a 19-year-old, you kind of been thrust into this limelight.
Yeah.
Did you come across, like, I can imagine for me, I'd be like, fucking hell, I've cracked it here, I've made it, like, do you know what I mean? I've played for Wales already, like, fucking run at me. Like,
I've never felt like that. To be honest, I was like really quiet.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say much, and I'm not the loudest person now, but for a long time I was like really quiet, and I never felt like I'd made it type thing.
Yeah.
It was just a privilege to be there, to be fair, and still is now to be playing.
Yeah.
Fair, so.
Did you had you signed your pro contract with the Blues before you'd gone then?
I don't think I had, no.
So you got on the Wales tour? Did you know what you were doing the next year?
No, I think as soon as I got back, I think I did it. I can't even remember, to be honest, but it was so quick. Played 2 games for the Blues back to back.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the season then.
Okay.
I can't remember how I don't know if they called me up for the tour. I can't remember.
Send me a picture of your signature now.
But yeah, as I said, I signed straight away then after that.
Yeah.
A couple of years, so.
Class. And when did you play for Wales Sevens then?
That was between being injured.
Yeah.
So coming back from injury,
okay.
I just found it sort of a good way to get myself back and get some running in my legs
fit
type
as
thing.
Well. Yeah, of course.
So I only went on 2 tournaments I did.
Yeah.
And that was it. Wales Sevens.
So when did you broke your leg? Was that 2007?
Yeah.
Against Australia.
Yeah, on tour.
The second test, first test, second
test.
Had you played the first test as well?
Yeah, I played both. Yeah.
So you played well at the time.
I was playing well. Yeah. World Cup was right around the corner as well.
Yeah.
I felt like I sort of gotten used to international rugby a little bit. I was playing well.
Who would have been there then? So you back then, you were like Shanklin, Jamie.
I can't remember if they were there. Henson was there. Gavin Henson.
Yeah.
Gareth Thomas was on tour with us.
Yeah.
Gareth Cooper.
I know Coops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
was
Coops. Good lad.
Can't remember. Tom James was there. That was his first tour.
James. Yeah.
He didn't play. I think he just brought him on to sort of get him
in the environment
type thing. Yeah. So players like that. As I said, I played the first test and then second test it just went wrong really.
How do you, as an athlete or even just as a person, how do you keep your head above water when that's something that happens? You're obviously on a massive high on tour. I know you lost the second test and obviously you got injured now, but go from those highs and lows, how do you kind of keep a level head? And because they told you a couple of years potentially, and you were back.
Well, they said originally I like this first question I asked, obviously.
Yeah.
He said, like, the doctor said, we want to get you back walking.
Yeah.
Being able to run around with your kids type thing. So that hit me quite hard.
And how old were you then?
I was 22, I think.
23.
22. So before that, before that I had 2 years at Blues.
Yeah.
Barely an injury.
Yeah. 2
full years, pretty much every game. Missed 1 or 2. Just for them to do something so horrific as that. It was just,
do you remember it happening?
Yeah. It was awkward. Bit of an awkward, weird tackle.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have happened really. I don't know how my knee is. My knee was all fine, literally the bone.
Yeah. Which
was a blessing really. Because now it's healed, that's it.
Yeah.
It's sorted. So I just remember picking up and going down the blind side, which I shouldn't have probably. I thought I saw a bit of space.
It's your first and last lesson.
Yeah. Never been down the blind side yet.
You got a massive gap. No, I'm not fucking doing that, mate.
So yeah, I picked up, and then it was Stephen Moore, the hooker for Australia, who tackled me. It was just really awkward, sort of. Some of my studs got stuck or something. I just fell awkwardly and just went. Just bit of a noise as well.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, it was tough. Look, it was hard to take what the doctor said to start with, but I don't remember it being long before I was like, right, this can't happen. I've got this rugby is everything.
It's my career, like.
I've got nothing else at the moment, so I'm too young to stop.
Yeah.
And I never changed that mindset after that. It's just I'm getting back no matter what happens.
Is that something that was kind of like ingrained into you from like a young age, as in like, you know, don't quit, or was it just, did your mindset change once that happened? Was that the thing that almost kick-started you to go, I'm fucking having this?
I think a little bit of that. Like I was always taught as a kid never to give up or, you know, sort of die down with it. You know what I mean? But when something like that happens and like you've just come into the professional environment, really 2 years is not long at all, and that's all you know. That's all you've ever wanted to do.
It's all you've trained for the last 5 years.
From the age of 7, that's what I wanted to do. So I suppose all that kicked in from there, and it was just a mindset. Then I'm getting back no matter what happens. So I listened to everything the doctor said. All the stuff I did with physios, just did everything, and luckily it worked out.
Or was it like watching the World Cup? Obviously 2007, I mean, Wales didn't go as well as they did, but is maybe the fairest way to say. I remember it was in the Fiji game. I remember watching that. It was baking hot. I think Shankly must have had factor 50 on his bar or whatever. It looked a tough one. Yeah,
I don't remember watching it. I don't remember feeling, you know, sad about it or anything.
Yeah.
I must have done it somewhere, but it's a bit of a blur again, I suppose. But I had an extra 3 weeks out in Australia after.
Yeah.
Don't
remember they flew your family
out. Yeah.
Class.
I didn't know they did that. Well, they told me when I was in the hospital bed. So
how long have you two been together then?
We were together, so just before I went on tour, my first tour, we met up.
Yeah.
So we've been together a few years by then.
Yeah.
So they said to me, like, we'll look after you now, we'll fly your missus over and stuff like that. I was like,
brilliant. Lovely.
She got a free holiday.
Class.
I was up in a bed for a week, but then there were some people out there that we're still in touch with now.
Yeah.
Who put us up in, they had a little beach house in Noosa, which is a couple of hours
Noosa
away.
Beach?
Yeah.
Oh, banging.
So we stayed there in the week, and they came over on the weekends then, because they were back and forth to Brisbane.
Yeah.
So which was amazing. And my wife recently she went last year back to Australia.
Class.
For a friend's wedding. And she met up with them and stayed with them again. It was amazing.
It's unbelievable what rugby can give you.
That's it. So yeah. So whenever we go to Australia, we know we're going to contact these people and hope you have somewhere to stay, hopefully.
Yeah, the free accommodation. Yeah. Like. How did you? So when was it that? Because if they've said, we're not sure if you're going to be able to play again, and you know, let's just get you walking or whatever. Yeah. How far into that process were you like, actually, I can see light at the end of the tunnel now? Because it's a long time to stay positive, and I don't care who you are, you can't stay positive. No. 24/7.
There were a lot of downs during my sort of recovery from it, I suppose. Yeah. I had 4 months on crutches.
Wow, see, that's tough.
That's hard, yeah. Luckily I had real decent crutches.
I was going to say, it's hard on your hands, mate.
Those real posh ones.
Yeah.
So that was tough.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd just do what you want. You're not going to get a chance again. So I ballooned.
Did you?
Yeah. I got to about 112k, which is the most I got to.
Yeah. What would you
I was smuggling sweets in my
I mean, I can't say anything. I was like, you literally just said, I'm starting an 8-week plan now because the last 6 months, all I've done is swig and haven't trained.
It's good fun though, isn't it?
It is fun, but now I'm getting to the point where like, oh, the stairs are tough. Like I'm gonna have to like lay it down. I've never been a small lad, but I think like 17 stone is probably my fighting weight, and I'm a good couple stone over now. So. Thing is though, when you're a pro rugby player, and I've heard a few people say this, I suppose injuries are probably the only time you can actually, and it might be different for you because you were just a couple of years into your career, but they're probably the only times you can probably have a proper break from everything and go, I'm just going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't choose to be injured, obviously, especially not for...
You've got to always think of the silver lining type thing, isn't it? And yeah, that 4 months I knew I was going to be on crutches for that amount of time, so there's no point in me trying to eat well, because it's just going to, sort of mentally. It's amazing what food does for you mentally, do you know what I mean? So if you're on crutches for 4 months, you're eating shit all the time, you know?
You'd have banging forearms and the rest of
my triceps were amazing.
Tricep model.
Nothing else, I've got triceps and a derby.
That's a
about 4 chins, But yeah, like I took advantage of it, and then as soon as I started getting back into any form of exercise, then I tried to eat better then. But throughout my career, I've been up and down with diet. I've never eaten the best. Some that are really like on it with it. I was never one of those.
Was it given to you in terms of like nutrition plans or that, or was it?
There was always access to nutritionists and fat testing and stuff like that, which was always one of the worst days of training. Unless you were eating well. There's sort of one pre-season where I ate really well. Like properly. I would go 2 weeks of like proper well veg, chicken,
no
carbs type stuff, and then I'd have one day after the end of that 2 weeks. I just eat whatever.
Domino's for lunch, KFC for snack.
That's it, exactly.
Chinese for dinner.
Just eat shit all day. And that worked really well. But that's about the only time I got down to like 8% body fat.
Jesus Christ, 8%.
Yeah, and for me it's hard because it's not natural for me, but others have just got low body fat naturally, so it's easier for me. Like it's not there, so that was hard for me to
do. That's dedication. 8%. Well, most people must be rocking around 20 to 25, probably. I'd have thought, like non-athletes or whatever, you know.
I'm not sure.
I was always around 35. I am. I can put scratching back. Fucking horrific. How long were you out of the game then? Was it a year or was it 18 months?
It was it was 15 months, so a full season I was out.
Jesus.
So I was back in the following pre-season, back into training.
And what were you doing? What were you doing in your own time then to kind of keep your spirits up? And again, I like to talk quite a bit about that mentality and the mindset, because I don't think people talk about that sort of stuff enough. And sports athletes or professionals in any environment are seen to be untouchable and unbreakable, and they're not. They're just human. What were you up to, and what were you doing away from, even when you were rehabbing, to keep yourself sort of motivated or take your mind off it? You know, what sort of things were you doing?
Can't remember.
No. What you
I did try and I did do a few Welsh lessons. I thought, we're going to learn Welsh now. We've got loads of time. Let's learn the language, but that didn't work out either. Similar to uni. I signed up for uni part time. I had to do 3 hours a week, but I never went.
And it was in UX.
I know, it was sort of around the corner.
So
not the best decision.
Couldn't find an easier 3 weeks.
No, exactly. But like I relaxed. Because as soon as like sort of rehab came around, it was hard work. So I again took advantage of the time really. I did speak to people with regards to doing like learning and stuff like that, but I don't think I did anything in the end. Which is silly really, because for like saying me talking to any youngsters now, I would say do the total opposite of that.
Of course.
Because it came towards the end of my career, and I'm like, shit myself a bit, because not really got anything else. Only know rugby. It's hard. So was a bit silly really, but things worked out.
Things you learn from that, don't you? And
exactly,
you can pass that advice then on to your kids and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, moving forward. And obviously, being a hub officer now, you've been through the highs and lows. So all these kids who think they're going to be the next, you know.
Yeah. Bring them down the peg when some of them.
Bale or Sam Warburton or whoever it might be. Actually, it's not the be all and end all, and life doesn't stop. Happen. You know, you gotta crack on. Do you remember your first Blues game back? After
it was a pre-season game.
Yeah. Against
a it was like a Welsh Premiership select. Team, so all the three teams combined.
Yeah.
Lee Halfpenny was on the other team.
Okay.
But this time I'd done so much weight.
Yeah.
My upper body was massive. I was the widest I've ever been. So I do remember, and it was nerve-wracking. And I remember in certain tackles, I sort of feel as if it was like.
Do you reckon that was in your head?
It was in my head for a
it?
bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel anything in my leg. My leg was fine, totally.
Did you have a plate?
I had a pin placed directly through the middle.
Ooh,
so they took all the bone marrow out.
Oh, fucking hell, mate. Am I right in saying, I might have made this up, is it broken in 5 places?
It was a spiral fracture,
fuck. Oh,
so it was all splintered off, and it's like that now. They didn't move any bones. They just put a pin in it to keep it stable. So it is
and it's all fused back together?
It's all fused back together, but it is a bit... like at the top there's a big like lump on it, so it just filled in between. But it was tough for I'd say a year or more.
Yeah.
Like certain tackles I get myself and I could feel it being sort of similar to what I experienced. So you try and get yourself tense up like that.
Yeah.
Try and get yourself out of it.
Did you find it for a while. Did you find it impacted? Looking back now, obviously at the time, no, because you're going to give as well as you can. But looking back now, did you find it impacted the way you played?
To an extent, yeah. But mainly just when I get in those tackle situations where I'm still on my feet. Yeah. And someone's trying to drag me down. Yeah. So all those situations were the only times where I feel a bit I tense up a bit type thing. But in terms of the game after that, no, I think I was okay. Okay. From what I remember. Anyway.
Yeah. I was watching some highlights earlier actually.
Oh yeah.
Did you prefer playing wing or fullback?
I came to enjoy fullback more. I played wing for a long time.
I was watching highlights earlier, and I said to my missus, I was like, he's a finisher, but actually at fullback, created quite a lot, and actually you could big guy, decent hands.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of tries that we saw on the highlight reel, you were the guy who gave the pass.
That's it. Yeah.
Make the half break and.
Yeah. So those clips on YouTube you saw were from I'd already transitioned to fullback type role.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it more. Yeah. On the wing. It was great because I was fast.
Yeah.
But this leg break did make me lose a little bit of pace.
Okay.
So I found 15 you could see a lot more.
Yeah.
Get your hands on the ball.
Yeah.
It's easier to get your hands on the ball.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, yeah. Since then I've moved in a bit.
You play 13 now?
13, 12 I prefer now, yeah. Yeah. I played my first year at Bedford, I played at 15. Yeah. I played pretty well. But then towards the end of the season, they said, "Oh, we're going to try you at 12." Yeah. What? I never played 12 really, but I actually prefer it now.
Just get your hands on the ball.
Hands on the ball, carrying.
Yeah.
Not much running.
Yeah.
Little short runs. Yeah. Chasing kicks all the time, stuff like that. So yeah.
And if you're tired, you can just boot it to the corner.
Exactly.
Let everyone else chase it. Then.
Yeah. No, so I enjoy that now as well, and I think that's my preferred position now.
Class.
But,
yeah. So when you come back, when did you play for Wales again after that? What year was that?
Played. So it was one of the Lions tours.
2009.
Yes.
That would have been.
Yeah.
South Africa 2009.
That's the one. So yeah.
There's obviously quite a lot of Welsh Gatlands. No, was Gatland on that tour?
Gatland was with the Lions that tour, yeah.
Yeah, so and there's quite a lot of Welsh. I remember Jamie's first Lions
Jamie
tour.
would have gone. Yeah. Again, that season leading up to that. Yeah. I'd not played much for the Blues. Yeah. I played a lot of Premiership rugby. Yeah. So again, it was a surprise phone call. I had a phone call from Neil Jenkins. Yeah. To say, "Do you fancy coming on tour with us?"
Do you fancy it or not? Like, did you go back out to Canada and America?
Yeah.
Again?
So it was 4 years since my first cap.
Yeah.
So it was like first cap and then sort of come back.
The comeback cap.
Type of cap, yeah.
And you scored. I watched the try that you scored.
Yeah.
So the guy goes to kick a ball out. Someone nails him.
So yeah, he misses it.
He misses the ball.
Yeah.
Dab down.
Yeah. It's the same corner I scored by.
Yeah.
In first cap international try.
How did that feel in you? 4 years later, how was it? What emotion were you feeling?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it's just elation, really.
Did you think you'd play for Wales again?
I didn't. I wasn't sure. I didn't think I would. No, especially on the back of that season. After having played the majority of in the Welsh Premiership. Yeah. No. I've had 5 or 6 games at the end of the season for the Blues that year.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether I'd play international again, but no, it was amazing when I did. And then I did go on then to get a few more caps after that as well in autumn internationals.
Yeah.
So my last cap was in 2010. But then that was it. Then I moved out to France for a couple of years.
So 2010, that was when, again, forgive me if I'm wrong here, beat Toulon in the European final.
Yes, it was in Marseille. Yeah,
in Marseille.
2010.
That's right. It was Aussie Stag. So Phil
right.
Aussie Stag, and we watched that game in Slutlands in fucking my neck, mate.
What did you?
Slutlands adult weekend or whatever in a bowling complex. And I remember someone was asleep where the balls come up when they rest, and there was someone asleep on there watching the game.
On that thing?
Yeah. I remember because Toulon at the time had just put all the money in, hadn't they?
Yeah.
Wilkinson, Sonny Bill
was playing.
Tanner Umaga, Van Niekerk.
Yeah.
And all those people. Yeah. And you guys
managed to do it somehow.
You didn't score, did you?
I didn't score, no.
But you
I did
started. Yeah. You had some Blues team then.
We did.
Really
that
good
was
team.
Casey Laulala.
Unbelievable. What was it like playing outside him?
Oh, amazing. He just creates something out of nothing, and
Yeah.
you just got to try and get on the end of it. Didn't always make it there. You think there's no way there's anything could happen here, but he managed to do it. The type of player that you knew a step was coming.
Yeah.
But he'd still beat you. Like in training and stuff, he'd do one-on-ones.
Yeah.
You know it's happening, but he'd still beat you somehow. Incredible player.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah, so that period was a real good period for the Blues with that core team that was there, and I was thriving in that time.
What was the celebration, and what was all that like after that?
And we flew straight back to Cardiff straight after that.
After the game?
Yeah.
Did you?
Which was a bit bizarre, but I think Marseille is the best of places.
I've never been.
I've heard it's not brilliant. So we went out in Cardiff then for a bit.
Yeah.
Still on Cardiff, the plane.
Yeah, in your suit.
Still in our suits,
Straight Tiger or fucking somewhere like that.
Can't remember where we went now. Yeah, we were all out for a bit.
Yeah.
A few beers and that. Good, it was brilliant.
And then at the end of that season, then you said you obviously went to France.
It wasn't that season. It was. I left Cardiff Blues then in 2014.
Oh yeah, it was a couple of years later. Sorry. Yeah, a couple of years later.
So
did you play when was the Leicester game with the kicks?
I didn't play that one.
Was it 2011?
That was the year. I can't remember what year it was, but I was still sort of coming back a little bit.
Okay.
So it wasn't the year I was injured. It may have been the year after.
After that, okay.
So yeah, so
because I remember Tom James took one. And
Martin Williams
and a few others.
Richie Reese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad one to miss again, I suppose. Shame that. Mental. I've never seen it since.
I know.
Crazy how it is. What was France like for the few years? Was it 3 years you were out there?
Yeah.
Why did you leave the Blues? Your boyhood club.
Yeah.
You're still, you in and out of the Wales team, obviously through injury and a few other things. Why did you leave Cardiff?
Firstly, they didn't offer me a contract.
Okay.
I would love to have stayed.
Yeah.
But then also, that final year of mine, I barely played a game. For whatever reason, selection reasons, whatever.
Who was there at the time?
Phil Davis was the coach.
Oh, I meant player-wise.
Player-wise, Harry Robinson was playing.
Oh, yeah.
Tom James.
Yeah.
Cuthbert was there.
Oh yeah.
So for whatever reason, I wasn't involved much, and when I was, it was like here and there, so I couldn't get any sort of momentum type thing.
Okay.
So I had a bad year. So then I was sort of looking elsewhere, and opportunity in France came up.
Had you had offers elsewhere?
I had the one offer in the end. I had interest from other clubs.
Yeah.
But then no one offered me anything.
Okay.
a club called Colomiers in France.
Is it south of France?
Yeah.
Nice place to live?
Yeah, it was nice.
What was
it was
that like
10 minutes outside of Toulouse.
Oh, lovely.
Toulouse is brilliant.
Yeah.
Guaranteed summers, lifestyle, relaxed. But yeah, it was good. For the family, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
My kid went to school out there. He was 2.5 when we moved.
Okay.
So he was fluent in French after 2 years in school out there.
Class.
Yeah, he's forgotten a lot of it.
The thing is, he'll probably pick it up again.
Yeah,
if
that's it.
Back his, how old is he now?
He's 8 now.
So yeah, when he goes secondary school, he'll pick that up again like that straight away.
Make sure he does French in secondary school because it's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was brilliant for him. He was like a little French kid. He didn't even, you could when he was speaking, you didn't think he was foreign at all.
No.
You know what I mean? He's had the accent.
Pick it up so early, yeah.
My wife, on the other hand, didn't pick it up too much. But again, it's difficult. She was not around French people like I was in a club with all the French people listening to them all the time, trying to pick things up. It wasn't like that for her. So yeah, and then she ended up teaching English to French people, which she loved.
Yeah.
She was also a childminder type thing for a family who wanted them to speak English as well. His family was Spanish, I think.
Okay.
They were living in Toulouse.
Yeah.
But also
I suppose that's
as
good.
well. So
I've not lived with someone else abroad. I can imagine that's good for her, that she's got her own thing and not just sat there all day every day waiting for you to come back from training or pick up from school or whatever.
That's it. So the first year we were there, my son wasn't in school at all. So she was at home looking after him for the majority of it. Yeah. And then we did go to nursery for a bit then, but then the second year he was at school all day. Yeah. So it was nice for her to have, something. Yeah. Like it must be tough because she's moved around me a lot. Yeah. And
that's love, pal.
I know she's moved. I had to go out to France early. She moved everything out, sorted everything out, and then the same on the way home as well. Her and her father drove home in a lorry from the south of France with all our stuff in.
Bloody hell.
She sorted everything pretty much because I went straight to Bedford. Yeah. I had to go for pre-season training, so fair play to her. She's sorted my life out.
Hey, behind every good man there's a better woman, pal. Yeah. Talk to me about, was it your first home game where you've taken a bang on the head? Yeah. Talk to me about that. I'm interested to learn a bit.
It was my first, it was my second game for the club.
Yeah.
First home game, boiler knot, September afternoon. Yeah. Playing reasonably well, and then just a little chip went over. Yeah. I was playing fullback at the time.
Have they signed you as a fullback?
They signed me as a fullback, nice. Yeah. I only played fullback for them. Yeah. So a little chip went up, and I was like running to catch it. And one of their players jumped up at the same time, and while I was like this, looking up, his hip went straight in the side of my head. Yeah. And I was out.
Seems innocuous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a nothing thing really. It's just suddenly I was on the floor, doctors were rushing over, players were screaming at the doctors, say, come over, quick. Yeah. Because I was totally out and sort of convulsing on the floor.
Like shaking.
Yeah, like fitting type thing. Yeah. Doctor couldn't get my gum shut out my mouth, stuff like that. I was like, sort of biting down. Yeah. He told me after that this is the first time he's ever been scared for someone on the pitch. Yeah. This time my family were in the crowd as well. My mum and dad had come over to visit. My auntie and uncle as well were there. So yeah, it was one nice time. Not that I remember much of it. But for my family, I can imagine it was tough to watch. Yeah. My 2-year-old son as well was hard. And
I've seen you've been not massively vocal as in like all the time. Yeah. There's been times where I've probably gone ex-player of fucking average level rugby, and you're watching it on TV, and it's easy to go, fucking game's gone soft. I used to play rugby league a lot as well, so the shoulder charge got banned, and you'd be like, shit houses, come on, where is it? Yeah. But I've never taken one clean to the head. Do you know what I mean? I might have taken one to my chest and it's rose up. Yeah. Well, if I was probably 17 stone. If you can put me on that, then fair if I can play you. Do you know what I mean? I've never taken one to the head. Yeah. What's it like living with after that concussion? Did you have any other concussions after?
I've had some since, yeah. Not as bad.
You think, I suppose, high profile now, you think of maybe George North, and you worry, like, I don't know, the guy seems like a lovely guy and he's obviously past fit to play, but what's it like living with that after you've had that and yours especially, such a bad concussion where you're out cold and fitting? What's that like?
It is hard, and it's harder for the family really, because as a player, all I want to do is play again. But it is sort of in the back of my mind, especially nowadays, it is in the back of my mind, mainly for my son. Because he's going into contact rugby next year, and I'm a bit worried about that. But the effects can be, we've all heard about the effects of it now. There's been films on it. And rugby is trying to change for that, and for the people to say, oh, it's gone soft, or like there's red cards to an Aggie one on yesterday. There's still people moaning about that.
I was a bit 50-50 on it. I think he would have done more damage if he actually had got his arm out, because he'd have taken his head off.
Potentially, yeah.
So in a way, it wasn't right, and by letter of the law, it is a red. But actually, he's probably done North a favour by having his arm tucked in. Just because he's grazed him rather than full on. Because that would have caught North clean in the face.
Potentially, you're right. Potentially, but then
it's still not right.
He's running in the way he's running is reckless. The way he's out to not bend, really looking.
He's out to bend someone in half.
There's things there's always going to be big hits. But then those big hits are just as good for the eye. Done properly. If someone's hit on the head, it's not nice to see you like that. But if you're hitting someone at a decent height, it's like, oh, amazing, you know.
And there were some in that England game where actually, I think it might be too laggy again. Someone, was it Bidder or someone early doors?
From a kick, wasn't
got smoked, but he got hit in the chest.
Exactly.
Got up, took it.
Brilliant.
Must be a tough bloke. I don't know the guy, but I think the thing with the North one, he was down on his knees, and Manu, rightly or wrongly, just was already not looking. So there was no adjust.
No.
He was just going to get hit.
And that's reckless if he's not looking. It's reckless the way he's coming in. And the laws are there to protect from this type of thing. So I think the only option was red there, I think.
You can
just because you can see it will hopefully it's changing behaviour. And to reduce the amount, you're always going to have concussions in rugby. Some things are going to happen, like someone jumping up in the air and hitting you with a hip. There's not much you can do about that. Do you know what I mean? So, but if you can reduce the number, then I'm all for it, 100%.
And how have you been since that concussion? What were you like in the short term, and how have you been since? Do you wear a scrum cap since?
I did wear one for a bit.
But
that doesn't stop concussion. But the days after that one in France, I remember being just really tired all the time. And my wife would tell me, my family would tell me I was angry. I'm like the least angry person you could ever meet.
You seem quite chilled out.
Super chill, but I was snappy, everything was getting to me. And it's only when I take sort of paracetamol and then I had a sleep, I felt a bit better.
And that's
it
not
would come
the right
waves type thing then after that.
And you can see if, I don't know you in terms of that mindset, but you can see that if that's the player's get out, paracetamol, other drugs to help you with the pain, you can see then how players might, or people, not just players, people might become dependent, and that's probably not the right way either.
You don't want to become dependent on stuff like that just to play rugby. It's silly. For a few days, 2 or 3 days, I was like this, and then I got better after then and went through all the tests, the protocols to return to play, and then I was okay after that. So in terms of effects now, my wife will tell you that I'm slightly different. Whether that's because of concussions or is just because I'm getting older, I don't know. But
grumpy old man.
Getting grumpy old man. These young rugby players are running around me all the time now. Makes me a bit angry. But if like, I'm not going to notice them as much as she would. So
it's interesting. It fascinates me, stuff like that. Do you what aside from that, what was France like for you? Because you get mixed reviews from people. Some of the lads who've been over, some of them have loved the culture, loved the setup, but they flogged you to death rugby wise. Others have just hated it completely. What did it give you, and how did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, and where I was, it was pretty relaxed. For the most part, we trained from 8 till midday. And that would be it. You'd be done for the day.
Class.
It's happy days,
4
especially in the summer. Sunshine in the afternoon, and
tops off.
Little snooze in the afternoon, the sunshine type thing.
Siesta.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so chilled out. But then on the other end of that, it can be a little bit too chilled out when you want stuff done.
Okay.
It's difficult to get hold of people. So between 12 and 2, that's lunchtime. Yeah. You can't get hold of anyone.
Okay.
Type thing. So, but yeah, like I enjoyed it. The rugby didn't go brilliantly because of injuries and selection. Yeah. But just purely experience of living in that country was hugely beneficial for my family. Yeah. So. And then
that's the thing rugby gives you, innit? It's more than just a job. It gives you that lifestyle.
Exactly.
Where else are you going to get paid to go and live in a different culture for however many years? It should make you a better person. Absolutely. Like you said with your son, it's given him a new language and stuff. So I'm like fair fucks to the people that want to go and earn, whether it's a bit more money or not, but want to go and earn in a different country, experience these things. Because if I got offered to do the same job, I don't know, I work in radio, but if Dubai FM rang me and said, we'll offer you more money to come and do the same job here, well, why wouldn't I go and have a look? Yeah. I love Capital, just why wouldn't you? So you come back then to Bedford, Mikey Raya. Yeah. I've never met the guy, but I would love to one day, just to go on the piss with him. What was Bedford like?
Bedford was probably the most enjoyable 2 years I've ever had. Yeah. In rugby as a player.
In the championship.
Yeah. 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 It was brilliant right from the start. Mike Ray's been there for about 13 years now. Yeah. And the culture he drives in the club is good fun. We're working hard. Yeah. But it is brilliant, and he brings players in that are like that as well. So as a bunch, we were
full time.
In between full time.
Okay.
And so it's just not Tuesday, Thursday night. Yeah. But it was Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So it was in between. Yeah. I was sort of half living up there and half at home in Cardiff, so wife and kid were at home. Yeah. So it was a lot of driving. But I thoroughly enjoyed the 2 years I had there. Yeah. It was brilliant.
And what was what did that give you in terms of you being in a professional environment, obviously in Cardiff and Wales and in France? What was it? Did it take some adjusting to not be in that professional environment in Bedford, or did you find it easier? Actually, had a bit more time to yourself, or?
No, it was easier, and when we were there, it was very professional. Yeah. Like we did everything that a professional club would do. Okay. But just in a shorter amount of time. Yeah. So you do a lot of analysis at home and stuff like that. You can access the clips and stuff at home. Yeah. But I enjoyed it because being out in France was great, but the banter is different. Yeah, yeah. It's not the same as being in a group of British, a British club. Yeah. So there's that side of it which I really enjoyed, and Bedford is renowned for their culture and their social side of it. Yeah. So I enjoyed that hugely. Any
sort of big names down there while you were playing there?
Lee Dixon signed at the same time as me, the English scrum half.
Yeah. I know.
So
he was Northampton then.
He was at Northampton.
Yeah, I know.
He was there for 9 years, I think. Yeah. And then he signed at Bedford at the same time I did. Yeah. And there were a couple of Welsh players as well. Jared Williams. You might have heard of him. He played in the Champ a lot. Yeah. A few Canadian internationals. Okay. Will Hooley, have you heard of him? He's played a bit in the Premiership. He's now American international as well since he's been there. So, but yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it there. It was good bunch of boys.
How do you find the Championship as a league compared to what is now the Pro 14? Yeah. Because people say, that put the Welsh, all the British teams in one league, and there's all these other talks and stuff. Yeah. How does the Championship compare to, say, like that Pro 14 level?
I think it's not far off. I think. Yeah. Where I am in my career now, for me it was perfect level. Yeah. It is a step up again to Pro 14 Premiership, but I think Championship's not far behind, and it's a great league to get some game time in, and lots of Premiership academy players come down to get game time.
You seen the thing the other day where RFU have cut the funding? Yeah. And then someone put a Championship team out of England.
I think all the chap clubs have done that.
Yeah, and you're like, fuck, fair play to them. There's been everyone's cut their teeth there, unless you're maybe like in a Toji where you've just come in at whatever age you came in and just won everything for the first 2 years.
That's it. It is, and like with the players who've come through since I was there that have gone on to play international. like players like Will Hooley, American international. There's Rory Hutchinson, played for us for a season from Northampton. He's now playing for Scotland.
Yeah.
He's been involved in the Six Nations. So players like that, it is a really good league.
Yeah.
And I think it's I can't believe they've cut the funding for it. It's people's jobs, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Boys are going for interviews for other stuff now for next year. I mean, it's
halfway
really
through
good players.
To do it towards the back end of the season, not even like halfway through, but more towards the back end. Some of these players now, they're like, what am I doing next year?
Yeah, exactly. Panicking, what to do, because it's not going to pay enough to live on, you know?
Yeah, it's mad that is. What's talk to me about your Barbarians experience.
Okay.
The
only game I played in for Barbarians was against the Army.
Yeah.
1 November.
Yeah.
Again, it was coming back from after my injury, so another game coming back from. So it was in Plymouth.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we played in Plymouth. We went to where did we go? We went to like do some. Do you know when they go on the boats and stuff where they got the simulators where it's filling with water and you got to. You got to put the wood bits in, find the wood, find the hammer, and fill up the holes. We did that. We went on a helicopter around.
Class.
Yeah, which was brilliant. All on the day of the game. I think we had one training session the night before. And then we played the game and that was it. Then it was not the sort of, for me, it wasn't the normal Barbarians you hear of where they're on the piss.
But you still got the shirt and
got the shirt, got the kit.
Yeah.
Played a game. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Class.
It was a good day as well, you know, with all that.
Yeah, I love the ethos and the history behind the Barbarians. Bringing everyone together.
It's great. You meet new people as well. You recognise people then as you play like further on from that.
Yeah.
When you play in other clubs.
Class.
You say, I remember that game. Remember what we did up in the chopper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah, but apart from that's the only game I played, so I've never been on a proper.
They made you
full on.
At the end of the day, you're a Barbarian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm not. I mean, I got to do the best stuff as I watched them play against England. And I think Dave Walder was playing 10 for England. We were like, remember him? Newcastle. He was Newcastle 10, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy? No disrespect. So you're up in Merthyr now, playing in the centre. What's the Welsh Prem like, week in, week out?
It's tough again.
A few of the boys say it's a nasty old.
It can be a tough league. Yeah, it's look, I'm getting on a bit now, so just to be able to still be playing rugby is a privilege. So in terms of level, for me, it's I'm enjoying it at this level.
Do you appreciate it more now than you would have 10 years ago?
Yeah, I do. Like when you're at Cardiff Blues and you get sent down to play Premiership, it's a bit like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gonna go training on Thursday night now. After training on all day with the Blues. But you do see as value. It is a tough league. You go to some like real shit places.
Oh yeah,
like some horrible pitches sometimes, but then
like Narberth and places like that.
Yeah, but like, does that benefit you as a young player? I think it can.
Yeah, toughen you up.
It's stuff like, if you want to go to places like that, sometimes it's not all fancy like perfect pitches, 3G pitches everywhere. Although they probably will be everywhere soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But it's got huge value for especially young players. Obviously, I played there before I moved up as well.
Yeah,
it is a great stepping stone. And I know some people don't agree with that, but
would you, if you were to do your time again, would you rather go through an academy age grade pro, or would you rather have play 18, 19, 4, a bit like Tom James, I suppose, went Merthyr, I mean that was Division 2 or 3 then, but go through that sort of Championship Welsh Prem, then get picked up. What would you, if you were to choose now going through?
It's a balance, I think. I couldn't choose between because there's value in each.
Okay.
That was really diplomatic.
No, it's interesting to get.
Is you need that sort of academy where you're doing things that professionals do in terms of conditioning and nutrition, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then you do also need the shit side of rugby where you've got to go to shit places on a horrible wet Saturday afternoon or even sort of Friday night type thing, or even midweek sometimes.
Yeah,
you know?
And tough it out.
And tough it out and playing games like that, because sometimes you will play in games like that.
Yeah.
Even at the top level. So there's huge value in both, and I found it as well. And in terms of injuries coming back as well, it's a great place to get some game time coming back from rugby. I played almost a full season after my injury for Cardiff.
Yeah.
And we ended up winning the Premiership that year as well, so I was sort of pretty much a part of that, you know. And it's obviously one of
winning's
good memories as well.
Habitual, isn't it? You get into that habit of just winning, and you take that form with you then, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And obviously, Merthyr, they've had the revolution the last couple of years, haven't they? Bit of backing and
bit of backing in the last
bit of disruptive signings and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. No, they've done well the last 3 years, and this year has not gone so well so far. And we've struggled in certain games, especially we can play out of our skins. But the game of the weekend, for example, played out of our skin first half.
Yeah.
Which was real good running rugby, like real playing really well.
Yeah.
And second half is just gone. And we've been our own worst enemy for most of this season.
Yeah.
Whether it's discipline or just not turning up second half, or even the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Where
we've lost stuff. So, hopefully we can sort of turn it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the season, and we'll see from there. But I'm enjoying it up there at the moment, and privileged to still be playing.
Class. Well, hopefully you've got another year or two left in you, pal. I just want to ask you a couple of things. What's been your favourite moment in rugby? Not necessarily pro, but what's been your favourite? If you could go back and relive one moment, what do you think it would be?
Oh my God, I don't know.
You've had
probably the trips away you get in, like when you go to Scotland and stuff like that, staying in hotels with the boys, and good laughs. I remember when I think it was in Connacht. I think we were in North Island somewhere. I can't remember. But we ended up having some wrestling matches in the bedroom.
Too many blokes together.
I don't know. Tops off and everything. I don't know how it came about. I don't know how it came about. We ended up like a full tournament. There was a fixture list and everything. There was a winner at the end. But it's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just good banter with the boys, up in hotels and just messing about, just being with the lads. That's the thing I'm gonna miss more, because you don't really get it in Premiership so much, because you're not away with them overnight.
Well, they used to do the British and Irish Cup, didn't they? But that's obviously
that's gone now. Isn't it? Yeah, there's only one triple A release up to RGC. I do miss back in Cardiff Blue days when you go up, stay in a hotel.
I suppose that's the people, isn't it? The
it's
time
more
you spend with the team.
Your mates, and you're together all the time, and you're messing about. It's not work.
Who would have been the good tourists back then in terms of bringing the boys together and having a laugh? And
Dav Hewitt was good.
Yeah, good bloke, I like him.
Yeah. So it was pretty much a group of us. Dav Hewitt, Nathan Trevette, he was there as well. Dan Fish. Yeah. Lewis Jones, the scrum half, who plays for the Blues now.
Going as well.
Yeah. Gareth Davis was there as well, who played for the Blues. He's playing for Merthyr now. Yeah. So those group of boys, I just remember numerous trips away with those lot and just fucking about all the time,
Class.
Yeah. Obviously still playing rugby.
Yeah.
But the in-between bits.
Hard, you play hard.
Yeah. Just the in-between bits in the hotel, just messing about in the rooms and stuff like that. It's just good fun, isn't it?
Class. If you, what would be your, if I was to say one try now, or one particular, or what would it be? What's the one that comes to you that you fucking, that's the one that I loved more than anything? What was it? Which one?
Well, the first two that popped into my head just now,
when
you said that, is my first one for Wales.
Yeah.
And there was also one I scored for the Blues against Wasps one year away.
Okay.
We were being hammered.
Yeah.
It was a try right at the end, but I just remember I think it was my 22 or around the sort of between 10 and 22.
Yeah.
I just chipped over the top and regathered, it went all the way down, regathered and scored.
Yeah.
Probably that one. I don't know why, it was just popped in my head as soon as you asked that.
What was it like playing? You played at the Blues when they were at the Cardiff City Stadium.
Yeah.
Brilliant stadium. I've watched many a football and Wales football game there. Rugby I never went and watched there. What was that like? You got the history, tradition and the Arms Park, and because it's a slightly smaller ground, it feels like it's more busy.
Yeah.
What was it like at Cardiff City?
Quiet. Yeah, it's good for football. It didn't really work for us. Hence the reason we moved back.
Yeah.
It was like some weeks it was like there was no one there.
Yeah. That's what it felt
Although
like.
the fans are brilliant and they do what they can, but in that stadium it doesn't you don't feel it as much. Again, the facility was great.
Yeah,
it was a good pitch to play on. Training rooms were lovely. Showers are brilliant. But then there's nothing like Yams Park, you know what I mean? So I think they made the right decision going back there.
Yeah. Have you got two things you want to before we wrap up, pal? Any regrets or anything in your career, or anything to do with rugby? And you might not. You might happy that the way it's panned out has made you become who you are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything that you would have changed or?
I think I'm pretty happy with how it's gone. To be fair, I wouldn't have broke my leg if I did it again.
Obviously.
Probably that one. Who knows after if that didn't happen? Who knows where I'd be now? May have gone to a World Cup. So, but then there's not much I can do about that, is it? But in terms of,
do you hold that in contempt? And for fuck's sake, I'm gutted, or fuck it, that's life, innit? Which way do you?
Obviously at the time I was gutted, but now it's like I'm quite proud of it.
Yeah.
In terms of coming back from it when being told that potentially you wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm proud that what I've done with that. I remember Sam Warburton saying before that he's proud of his injuries. I've spit my bit in his book.
Yeah.
He's proud of them because he's come back from them.
Yeah.
I feel the same with that one in particular.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I've come back from that after being told 18 months to 2 years before you even, not even just walking type thing, to come back in a year, like that's an achievement in itself.
I don't think unless you go through that yourself personally, you're never going to probably appreciate that. I mean, I've had injuries, torn fucking all sorts of stuff, but it wasn't my career on the line.
Yeah.
It was, I can't go on a piss for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, it was different for me.
Yeah, when it's your career, it's just, it creates that mindset. It did for me anyway. I know it doesn't for others sometimes, but yeah, I'm proud of it.
It's fascinating. I love it. Yeah. And when you say about mindset, then I suppose, unfortunately, we're of an age now where probably we're just kind of missing that being in the spotlight 24/7. Well, I was never in the fucking spotlight, but you playing obviously.
Yeah.
Did you ever get much, especially like when Twitter and that was starting out? Did you ever get much shit on social media, much trolls or anything like that at all?
Not really. I'm not huge on Twitter. I don't go on there. I don't tweet much, so I don't get much back from it.
Yeah.
But like, there was a bit when I signed for Merthyr. There was stuff about how much is he paying in and stuff like that, and where's he been and stuff like that.
It must be a bit your gold tinted car and
get loads of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
do you ever bite for stuff like that?
No,
I don't.
I tend to try and ignore stuff like that. But I've been about other stuff on Twitter before, but then I just try and stay away from it now. I don't bother. As I said, I only tweet now about what I'm doing as my job. Yeah. Sort of in terms of
bringing the next generation through.
Tweet about stuff like that mainly now.
Yeah.
And my wife's quite prolific on Twitter.
Oh, that's how we got talking, man. I think. Yeah. Follow each other and both like Cardiff City and just got fucking chatting on Twitter, just laughing at the same fucking shit probably.
She's a couple of times a day, I think.
Yeah, funny.
She'll love that. You said she's funny.
Yeah, some of the things she tweets, she's alright, like, wouldn't tell her to her face. I'll edit this out now.
I won't mention that.
No, I'll take that out at the end. You said you're an asshole. Hey mate, I really appreciate you coming. It's fascinating to... It's easy when I'm talking to the guys who are still at the top of their game playing, and it's fascinating to speak to someone who knows that they're coming towards the end, and mindset and drive is still there, but just for different things. And I really appreciate you coming.
Mate. Thank you.
Enjoyed it. So that was Chris Czekaj. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, just a bit different, especially around things like concussion and where the game's going and stuff. So if you've got any thoughts or whatever, just drop us a line and we can have a healthy debate, maybe on social media, who fucking knows. Big shout out to everyone who has downloaded, subscribed, rated, reviewed, whether it's good or bad, I'll take it all and I'll laugh either way, so tell me your fucking worst day. Big thanks to everyone who's been sharing it, and I know a few of you guys on Twitter have been sharing the pod, so massively appreciated, and we'll look forward to catching up again in a week's time. Have a good week.